actually strategize your business so you can achieve the goals that you've always wanted to. This video is part 2 of a 3-part series. The first part that you can watch here or down below is all about how to get clarity on exactly where you are, because in order to achieve your goals, you need to know where you are first. So the first video, I helped you better understand how to review and analyze your business. So then that introduces you to video 2, which is today's video, all about how to start strategizing where you want to go in a very smart and deliberate way for both the short-term and the long-term growth of your business that will be sustainable. And then the third video is going to be all about how you actually take the action and implement what it is you've learned in the first and second video. So I'm very excited for this. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Again, if you're new here, my name is Kaitlyn Cook. I'm a top 1% business strategist and coach, helping you build profit and revenue for impact and joy and love and all the things, because your business gets to be fun, it gets to be simple, and I'm here to teach you all of that and more. So please subscribe, share, and like this video, and the next video will be posted down below here as well. So let's get started. Oh, also there's a resource in this video about an Excel spreadsheet. You can download it free down below and just follow along. I'll take you through how to actually analyze, how to strategize, and how to implement this to grow your business. And also, why am I the person to tell you this? For 20 years, I've been helping people analyze, strategize, and implement things to achieve their financial goals and their business goals. So you're in good hands. I'm all about simplifying the complex to help you ultimately get to where you want to get to. So let's get started.
Hello, this is the second video to the 3-step process. So the 3-step process, just to summarize again, the first step is analyze and understand where you are right now. This second step is all about the strategy and vision. Where are you wanting to be? The third and final step for the next video will be all about action taking and implementing the strategy we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to share the document that I shared with you before. Remember, when you open this Google Sheet, please make a copy of it, and then you can use this as you wish. So let's get started. So this is the document. So I've started to fill it out. So we'll start from the first tab. I'm going to cough. So the first tab. Now I've filled in this for you, so let's zoom in to this part. Now, I want you to focus at this. So you will have answered these questions. If you didn't, please answer them now. So this, I'm helping you better understand how to review where you are, because when you know how to review where you are, you can quickly plan where you want to go and you can figure it out. If you don't know where you are, you're going to continue that confusion, and when you grow your business, you grow emotionally where you are. So if you're already feeling stuck and stagnant, but you actually don't take a moment to organize where you are, you'll start to grow with more of that disorganization. So this is all about getting you clear on where you're going. So, for example, who is in your team currently and what are their roles? So at the moment, there's 2 part-time staff members. One is project work and the other is lead generation. Okay, cool. Now let's list out your current processes, systems in the business. So for example, there's a CRM system. This person does the onboarding and all the client work. Okay, so link to, and then there's a link to book a call and follow up. So there's not a lot of systems in place, which means there's room for optimization and improvement. Then the third, now what I want you to add on here, which I didn't ask you to do in the last one, but I'm asking you to do it now, is I want you to rate this from a percentage standpoint. Now, the reason I want you to do that, and this is based on what is your current role in the business, is because your time is your greatest asset as a business owner. Time is going to dictate what you end up getting and what you end up doing. So if you're, in this example, spending the majority of 70% of your time on client-facing work and back-end work, that doesn't leave a lot of room for innovation, for vision and growth planning. So what we want to do is, with this level of understanding, we can go, right, you're currently spending 70% of your time And we can extrapolate that out across a calendar and go, in your calendar, 70%, excuse me, 70% of your time is spent in client-facing work. What can we do to reduce that even by 10%? Does that mean that you can potentially have somebody else come in to help with that? Does that mean that you can build systems and processes to be more efficient in the work that you produce in a quicker time? There's lots of things we can do, and it's so fun. So what is your current role in the business? So now what I want you to do right now is put the percentage of time you spend. And then the other questions you will have answered is, how many hours do you actually want to be working in the business? And so this example is 20 hours a week. Fantastic. We can work around where you need to be spending 20% of your time in the business to be able to grow it where you want to grow it. And then what do you want to be doing in the business? So more vision and strategy, client work, people management, and communication. So then we've done a percentage base off that as well. So this actually literally tells you the changes you need to make in the activities you're doing to grow where you want to grow. Isn't it easy? Isn't it brilliant? So then if you're like, I don't know what my percentage is for this, then you will have filled this out. Now, if you didn't fill this out, that's okay. There's still time to do it now. So I fill this out as an example. So let's just say there's admin tasks and it's follow-up emails, checking in, but really don't enjoy this. So what I look for in this and why this is important is it gives you an overview of where you're spending your time and what you're spending your time doing. And what I find is business owners have moved from a 9 to 5 into a business, and their belief is, I need to work harder to earn more. And what happens is they end up working more hours to justify that they can earn the money they want to earn. But I have found time and time again that when we are more intentional and deliberate with where we spend our time in a smart way, which is what I'm teaching you to do, you can earn significantly more in a shorter amount of time and still have free time to innovate new ways to grow the business, because you need that space creatively in order to work on the business, not just in it. So from this example, you can see here there's client work is 20 hours a week. So there's a lot of time in a week devoted to just client work. So what I would be asking here, and the enjoyment level is 3. What tends to happen is we don't tend to go up in the enjoyment level of an activity. If we're doing it more and more, it kind of starts to go a little bit more mundane and annoying. So what we want to look at here is go, in this example, I want you to now look at what you've done and go, where's the majority of my time being spent? And if the majority of your time is being spent on client-facing work, you're the bottleneck of your business. That's okay. We've all been there. So what you want to do now is think, is there a way that I can continue the quality of work that I'm delivering for clients, but have somebody else help with the project deliverables so I can free up some of those hours to devote to working on the business? Because in this example, if you'll see here, this person is spending all their time working in the business. So if you're spending all your time working in the business, you have no time to work on the business. And it's only when you work on the business that the business will grow. So it's the same as if you feel like you're just running around in circles and you're doing the same thing and it's like, I'm stagnant, I'm stuck, nothing's really changing, nothing's really moving. It's because you're continuously working in the business to keep the business afloat without working on it. So we want to shift the time you work in the business to start bringing in more times to work on the business. So the questions I want you to answer now is, where am I spending the most amount of my time? And what am I working on the business or in the business? And then there's this level here that's the categories. The categories are going to dictate what's expanding in your business. So for this particular person, they're spending time, the majority of their time is spent on other, which is the client work. They're doing a little bit in the financial space. They're doing a lot of talking to the team with the people and HR component. The marketing is very low. So the time they're spending in their marketing is only 2 hours, and it's just for discovery calls. And they're spending 30 minutes on the operations and admin. So if we were to expand this out, then they're just going to be expanding out more times being spent in other activities of client work. And the marketing is going to be expanding just a little bit. So we really want to be intentional and understand, actually, at the moment, where am I spending my time? And this will tell you. And based off of this, how can I improve what I currently have? And this is where you want to focus in on these two tabs. These two tabs here are going to help you streamline your business to help you grow. And that's based off this visual here. Continues to help you visually see each offering you have, because your business, it will grow from a revenue standpoint. We need offerings, whether it comes in the package of a product, a service, an offering, whatever it may be. We need that offering to generate revenue. But outside that revenue, you've also got the processes, you've got the software, and you've got the people. And that's going to dictate how your business operates. And many times I see business owners, they focus on the revenue, which is brilliant. It's one part of the component, but it's not all the parts. They focus on the revenue, but they don't actually streamline the software or the processes. When things are streamlined and systematized, it can scale. If it is not streamlined, you cannot scale it. So in this example, if I was coaching or consulting you and you're like, Kaitlyn, I'm working 20 hours on client-facing work. I want to only work 20 hours a week in my business. What the hell would I do? My suggestion to you right now would be set up your systems and processes. Because when you set up your systems and processes, as in step one, this is how we onboard somebody. This is the links, this is the contract, this is the process, this is the email. Literally go into that minute of a detail. I've done an SOP video on my YouTube channel as well, Grow with Kaitlyn, if you want to watch that, and it helps you with the step-by-step. But the reason we want to systematize this, if you are doing all of the client-facing work, is because when it's systematized and it's step by step in a process, you can train someone on that process. If it's not systematized and you're trying to wing it, it's a lot harder to teach somebody something. You've got to try and remember what it is that you do. So the first step would be systematize it, and then you bring somebody in to train them to do some of the parts. Yes. And then what I want you to do is, when you're looking at this will give you clarity on where you need to start shifting, and that's what the next video is going to help you do. So you're going to see, right, at the moment, this is where I'm spending the majority of my time, but I actually want to shift it here. So if I want to reduce the time that I'm working with clients from 70% to 40%, is there an easy way I can do that? How could I do that? And this is about pondering new thoughts, allowing yourself to think of new ideas in your business to streamline it and make it more efficient. So have a look at this and start to decide, where should I start shifting my energy and efforts? And especially what I would also suggest, if you wanted to, is you could duplicate this and go, if you just duplicate it and go, okay, so this is actually what I do want to be doing in the business, and then write that out. What do you want to be doing task-wise each and every week? And then what categories does that fall under? If you want to grow your business, you need to spend more time and more money in the marketing side of things. But then there's also the components of obviously optimizing the systems and processes. But start to get clear, what do you literally need to be doing each and every day? And we'll go into further detail of that on the next video. You've got this. I will see you in the next video.